Hey, Boris, are you there? I just wanted to talk to you a little about this month's budget for the house. We're about $700 short from where we normally are, but do you have any idea where that money might be? Or did I make a mistake in my math?
No. It sounds like your math. No. It sounds like your math is spot on. I was just thinking that we should start thinking about saving money, so I set aside the money. I mean, we do want to buy a real house one day, and we have kids. That isn't going to be cheap either. So I figured that we could afford to cut back by about that much, right? Besides, don't you think we've been living a little too lavishly lately?
I completely understand wanting to save money, but I don't know about living lavishly. I mean, I'm already working really hard to save money everywhere we can with the money you were giving me already. And I was putting whatever was left into a savings account anyways.
I know, but I was talking to some guys at the office about our finances, and they said our savings were quite low for where they should be at our age.
Really? Did they think so? But we barely even spend money on things like eating out.
I know, but apparently we can't even do that anymore. So let's just cook all of our meals for the time being, okay? I mean, it's not like that we just need to make sure that we're always thinking of ways to save money from here on in. That means electricity, gas, transportation, and even eating out.
I understand that, I guess. Although, I wonder if it would be possible to downgrade our phones to save a little there as well.
Well, I really need my smartphone for work, and I actually make sure to use my data for productive things.
I guess I can do that. But what about food? I feel like it's the most difficult one. Because, no offense, but you're a very picky eater. You hate getting the cheaper store brand items, and you always insist on having fresh vegetables and fruit.
Yeah, well, I think that might change if we were really cooking for ourselves every single day. Then I might come around to eating cheaper stuff.
Well, okay then, if that's what you want. I'll make sure to buy more things so that we can cook at home more.
Got it. Just make sure that you're not buying anything that we don't really need, okay? And then, if you had any money left, I guess you can keep it to spend on yourself.
I wonder if there's really even going to be anything left.
Well, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, you're a housewife and it's your job to keep the house in order. So just try and do your best with all of this, okay?
I promise that I will, but if you want me to cook more, then please don't complain about what I serve you.
It's fine. I hear all the time about wives make $500 last a whole month. And that's with the kid too.
Wow. Really? I feel like you'd have a really hard time feeding a family of 3 for a whole month on just $500.
Exactly, but we don't even have kids, so 500 should be more than enough for you.
I get that, but do you realize that would mean we would have to cut back on some of the other items, you know? For example, I know you like to keep a case of beer in the fridge, but I don't think that would be able to fit in the food budget.
Got it. Well, I can pay for those kinds of things myself, so nothing to worry about there.
Wait a second, so you would still spend money on stuff like that? Are you saying that you're not going to be cutting back like I am?
Look, Lana, the fact of the matter is that I work every single day, you know? So I think I deserve to treat myself now and then when I come home.
I guess that is true, but I feel like I'm the only one who's being asked to spend less here.
And that's exactly why you need to make sure that you do a really good job of it. Plus, if you do, then you can keep whatever's left over.
Right. Well, I guess I can try to do this if you say so, Boris.
Perfect. I'm glad that you and I could talk all of this out. Also, I'm going to be coming home around 11 tonight, okay?
Okay. Well, what do you want me to do about dinner?
You can just make something light for me and leave it in the fridge if that's all the same.
Got it. And would you mind if I just left you some kind of prepackaged something in the fridge to eat, since you'll be coming home so late?
What, are you kidding me? No, you need to cook me something from scratch. Just because we're trying to save money doesn't mean that you can go and get all lazy on me. Just think of something good and cook it for me, okay?
Hey, Boris. So, I was looking at the household budget account, and you only put in $300 this time. Please tell me that there is some kind of mistake here.
No, $300 sounds about right. I only put that much in there.
But I mean, how do you expect us to live off of so little? I don't even know how we're going to cover the utilities and food with just this.
Well, on the bright side, I'm paying for my own cell phone bill, so you don't have to worry about that.
That is good, yes, but this still just isn't enough money to get by. Can't you at least put in another $50 or $60 for food?
I don't know about that. You see, I was reviewing everything that you spent money on last month, and there were quite a bit of needless expenses.
I really don't think that's true. I've been trying so hard to make sure that we're always only getting what we need.
Well, I just felt like you were spending way too much on groceries.
But I was only doing that because you told me to save money by cooking at home more. And ever since then, you've been giving me my list of things that you want to eat, so I've been going out and buying them.
I get that, but the fact of the matter is that it's your job to figure out how to cut corners on those things. I mean, just how many times a week are you going to the supermarket already? You need to start going to the cheapest of the cheap stores. Do you understand me?
I'll be sure to do that from here on out.
What the heck was that purchase I saw for flowers? What do we need flowers for?
Well, there was someone at my work retiring, so I wanted to buy those as a gift. But they were just $10.
And that was $10 that could have gone towards food or utilities or things that we actually need.
But this coworker has always been really nice to me, so I wanted to do something kind for them.
Well, that's not the only issue that I'm seeing here. I mean, what's with all this stuff for your period and painkillers and stuff? Do you really spend $20 on pads and aspirin?
Well, I know how I got my stomach aches, and of course I'm going to buy sanitary pads. Why wouldn't I do that?
I really don't even know what to say. Pads are one thing, but you're not going to waste all your money because you get tummy aches now and then.
Boris, you can't really mean that, right?
Of course I mean that. In fact, I don't even know why you need pads. Everyone knows that you only need pads if you're working outside of the house. You using them is just a waste of money and paper. Just wad up a rag and put it down there.
You did not seriously just tell me to do that, did you?
Oh, did you not read the text that I just sent? Of course I did. It's a waste of money otherwise. You need to learn how to live within a budget I give you, even if it's just $300 a month.
What if I just went out and got a job and doubled our income instead?
Well, that would be a good idea except for one little detail. If you worked, then who would take care of the house?
Well, I was thinking that we could both work and both split the chores.
No. I didn't marry you so that you could work. I married you to have a housewife. I do the working, you do the cleaning. It's that simple.
If you really prefer it that way, then fine. But don't tell me what kind of sanitary pads I do or don't need. I'm already working really hard to save money everywhere that we can, while you are still talking about getting paid for things that you want with your own money.
Look, I know that it's tough, but let me tell you about my mom. Until she married her current husband, she was basically just working odd jobs all while I was in middle school. We almost never had any money at all. And my mom made sure to work so hard that I never even noticed how poor we were until I was older. And she did that by spending less and doing things at home more.
And I think it's amazing that your mom worked so hard for you when you were younger. But I don't think that the same story applies to me.
Of course it does. My mom can do all of that, then so can you. You really are spoiled, do you know that? You get to stay in our nice house all day cooking meals for your husband while I'm the one who has to go out for work.
I really don't think that I have it as nice as you seem to think that I do.
Ugh. I just really can't talk to you if all you're going to do is argue with me like this.
Wait, what? How am I the bad guy in all of this?
Because I am the one who works, so I'm the one who earns money around here. Your job as a housewife is to just take care of the house and make sure that things are running with the budget that I give you. So if I give you $300 for this month, it's your job to make it work. If you need more money, you can write up a page on why you need it, and I'll make the decision if you actually do.
Hello, Ivanka? I'm sorry that it's been so long since the two of us last talked. Oh, Lana, what a lovely surprise. How are you? It's not often that I hear from my daughter-in-law. Well, I actually kind of wanted to talk to you about Boris. Oh no, what's my son gotten up to now? The thing is that last month he told us that we would have to start trying really hard to save money. I see. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that per se. Me neither. But last month he cut the household budget by $700. And this month he told me that I would only be allowed to spend $300. Wait, he's only giving you a budget of $300? Yeah, not only that, but he made me go and trade in my phone for a cheap model. He's actually done a bunch of stuff to try and make me cut back my spending. After all that, he still expects you to be able to run a household with only $300? I mean, that would barely even be enough to cover the utilities, right? How do you afford food with so little money? I honestly don't know how I've managed to stretch this little money out so far. That's just horrible. I'm so sorry to hear that, Lana. You know, he even told me that I shouldn't be wasting money on things like pads for my period. I know that's a bit personal, but it's true. I've tried talking with Boris about this, but he just doesn't seem to listen to me at all. I was wondering if you think you could talk to him for me. Of course. I'll try and speak to him and set this all right. Even if the two of you are having money troubles, cutting your budget by that much is just excessive. Sorry, what do you mean by that? You think we're having money problems? Oh, I'm sorry. I know it isn't any of my business, but Boris told me about it. I heard about how you got scammed not too long ago. Wait, hold on. Boris told you that I was scammed out of money not that long ago? I don't know what to say, except that simply isn't true. Oh, really? He told me that an old friend reached out to you asking for you to invest in her idea, and then she ran away with all of your money. I even heard you were in rather deep debt because of it. No! Nothing like that has happened at all. This is the first I'm even hearing about this. But then, what about the money that I've been sending you both every month? You've been sending us money? I didn't know about that either. Of course I have. I've been supporting Boris with $1,000 a month. I started making the payments about 3 months ago, in fact. Boris said he needed the help in paying down your debts. Well, this is the first that I'm hearing about any of this. So then, you're telling me that Boris was lying to me? I'm very sorry to say, but I think he may have been lying to the both of us. He told me that he wanted to put away more money for the future, and that's why we had to cut back on spending. I think I will need to do a little more digging around for this. Of course. That's entirely okay. I'm also going to look into what Boris might be trying to hide from me. Please do that. I think we both need to get to the bottom of this.
Hey, Lana, where are you right now? I just got back home, but there's not even dinner ready and waiting for me. What's going on?
If you're going to be coming home this late, then maybe you should just eat out for dinner.
Excuse me? Are you serious? Wait a second. You're buying pads again, aren't you? What is the matter with you? I thought I told you to quit wasting our money on those. Why don't you ever listen to what I tell you?
I will have you know that as a woman, these are things I need. And I certainly don't need someone who doesn't have a period telling me how I should handle it.
What I said was that only working women need them. You're just a housewife, and so you don't. I mean, it's not like you're leaving the house except to go shopping. Also, why haven't you replied this toilet paper? I thought I told you to start doing that from now on.
You really are just such a jerk, do you know that? I never want anything to do with you again, son.
Son? Excuse me? How dare you talk to me like that? You're not my mother.
Actually, Boris, this is your mother. I'm sitting here with Lana right now, and she just passed me her phone to talk to you. Now, would you care to explain just what you think you're doing?
Wait, Mom? Is that really you?
That's right. The same mom who raised you all by herself since you were in middle school. But let's get down to business. Lana told me about how you've been giving her a budget of just $300 for the whole month.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm paying the rent and for my phone.
And that's only because you have enough money to do all that, don't you? But you must know there's no way this is sustainable for Lana, right?
But all my coworkers were talking about how much money they save every month, and so I just didn't want to fall behind other people my age.
That is them. You should worry about taking care of your own family in the way that they need to be taken care of. And if you think that you can pay for utilities, food, and whatever other costs might come with a house which is $300, you're out of your mind.
But fine, okay, fine. I'll give Lana a little more money if you just stop being mad at me.
You think that's going to make me not mad at you anymore? I've been giving you $1,000 a month. Not only that, but you told me that Lana was scammed out of a huge amount of money. But I asked her about it, and she didn't have a single clue.
Okay, yes, you're right. The truth is that I was the one who got scammed. And I was too embarrassed to tell you or Lana, so I just blamed it on her.
Oh, please. You think I don't know that's a lie as well?
It's not a lie, it's really true.
Oh, just give it a rest already. I already know that you're seeing another woman behind Lana's back. You spent all the money I give you on her. She's the reason you've been coming home so late recently. Well?
No, it's not like that at all. Of course I'm not seeing anyone.
Oh, please. Just give it up. I already know the truth. I hired a private investigator to look into you, and now I have a mountain of evidence. I've told Lana all about it.
Okay, you caught me. I'm really, really sorry about all of this.
I'm not the one that you should be apologizing to right now, Boris. You owe Lana that, and so much more.
You're right.
Boris, it's Lana again. Do you even know what I'm about to say to you?
Lana, I'm so sorry about all of this. I never meant to trick you, but I really wasn't cheating on you. She was just a friend. I'll give you more money every month, I swear.
I don't want your money, Boris. I want a divorce. I can't stand living with you any longer.
Wait, what? You can't be serious about that, right?
Of course I am. I don't care what connection you had to this lady. You tried to make me save up money so you could spend more time with her. You lied to your mom and I both about how much money you had, and you scammed us out of money, labor, and our trust in you. I could never continue being your wife after this, especially with how condescending you are. Don't you realize that you're nothing without me? I think you did, and that's why you try to keep me in the house and prevent me from doing anything at all. Well, I don't care what excuses you have left. I want a divorce, and that is that. And be on the lookout for a call from my lawyer. After that, Boris and I only met one more time to sign the divorce papers and finalize the whole process. Thanks to Ivanka having my back and being furious with her son, it all went smoothly. And after it was done, she announced that she would be cutting Boris completely out of her life. Not only would she stop sending him money every single month, but she said that she never even wanted to talk to him ever again. In the process of the divorce, the evidence Ivanka collected of Boris's affair was enough that I could sue him for infidelity. The final fee was so much that despite all of the savings I did on his behalf, Boris was still forced to take out a massive loan to repay me. Now I hear that he barely has a penny to his name. Certainly not enough money to keep that other woman of his interested in him. Although, that didn't stop him from hanging around outside the bar waiting for her. It took the bar calling the police to patrol the streets and scare Boris off to put an end to that. Afterwards, Boris was humiliated as rumors about his divorce spread across the office. In the end, I heard that he quit his job and moved to a different town to try and start a new life. Now he lives in a shoebox of an apartment, working multiple jobs and barely able to set any money aside for himself. As for me, I've used the money from the divorce to move out of our old house and into a place of my own. I've even started working at a job that I love. It is very nice to be able to spend money on myself again. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey there, Lucy. I just wanted to let you know that I sent the money for this month. Go ahead and check your bank account to make sure it got there and let me know when you have, okay?
Thank you so much, Mom. You're the best.
Well, of course I was happy to send the money this month. But you know how we talked about how soon you'll have to rely on yourself for this kind of thing, right?
I know, but you have to know how hard I'm working now, right? And besides, both of my girls are in elementary school now. If you thought I was pricey, imagine having two of me running around.
I would rather not. You are already more than a handful to deal with. That being said, I hope that you're getting enough from Eric as well. Is he sending enough in child support? I mean, between both of your salaries, I would assume that you could afford to take care of a couple of kids.
Yeah, it helps for sure, but it's also just not easy taking care of little ones like this. I mean, Kaylee's in the 5th grade and she already has a cell phone. Can you believe that? That, and the two of them have their after-school clubs that they like going to as well. And apparently, some of the other kids at school have been talking behind my girls' backs because of the divorce.
Well, I can certainly understand those feelings. It's just that sending you $1,000 every month hasn't been easier on my wallet either, of course. So maybe if you could just try and cut back a little here and there so you'll have more money for the next month?
Mom, you do know that I'm already saving as much money and cutting as many corners as I can, right?
Well, of course I know that, but have you ever considered moving back in with me?
You mean you would want all of us to go and move back into your place?
Well, if you did move here, you wouldn't have to pay any rent, of course. And you're always saying how hard it is to find a sitter when the girls are going to be at home by themselves. Not to mention the fact that it sounds like you have enough of a challenge just making it back home from work without doing any overtime.
I appreciate the offer, Mom, but I just really don't want to move back home.
But why not? You know that I want to be there for you if you're feeling like you're in trouble. I just thought I would offer because it sounded like a good way to lessen the burden of having to take care of 2 little ones by yourself. I really can't see anything wrong with it personally.
I know, but this is something that I decided for myself when I divorced Eric. I told myself that I was going to be the only one to raise my girls, so I'm sorry, but I simply won't go home.
Lucy, what in the world are you talking about? Just because we all would be living together, that doesn't mean that you wouldn't be the one raising your daughters.
I know, but I want to get as little help from people as I can. I just want to be a good parent and do this on my own. I just feel like moving in with you would be taking the easy way out. Do you understand?
I understand that, but it would also be what's best for your wallet. And besides, aren't you already getting financial help from me?
That's totally different and has nothing to do with this. It's just one thing that I ask for once a month. It's not a whole living in a house.
I get that, but don't you think you would save even more money by not having to pay rent or utilities or things like that?
I really don't think you should be telling me how to budget for my family.
Well, okay, then. Do you think you could tell me what you're spending your money on? I mean, how much do you usually have left over at the end of the month?
Ugh, what is this, a math test now? I just know when I'm reaching the limits of my budget, okay?
Lucy, when you talk like that, it kind of makes me nervous for you. I think you really need to get a better grasp on your finances and your budget if you want to get out of this cycle. I understand that it's a pain, but if you could just take the time to track your expenses, I'm sure you would see places where you could save money. I mean, there are so many free budget apps that you can download to your phone.
But it's not like those things now when you buy something. You're still the one that has to input all that information, right? I would forget to do that all of the time.
Oh, come on. It's just like building a new habit. Just keep at it for a month and it'll be fine. If you'd like, I can help you make a budget the next time I go there next month.
That's fine, Mom. I don't need you to do that for me at all.
Well, if I'm not going to do it for you, then you have to do it yourself.
Well, maybe I will. So there, what do you say to that?
Lucy, I really don't think you should be taking this attitude with me about your money when I'm the one helping you here.
You're right. I'm sorry about that.
I just really want you to think about living with me, okay? Really, really think about it. Even if you just moved to a house nearby, I could still help you with the kids when you needed it. And I just know things would get easier for you too.
I get that, Mom, but if I did move back there, then that would mean changing the schools for the girls. And I just really don't think that I could put them through that. It wouldn't be fair at all.
Well, you might be onto something there.
But I promise that I am trying to think about the future. I'm already thinking of what kind of man I could marry to have a good life.
Now, obviously, it's important to think about yourself and make sure that you're happy. But you're a parent now, so I just hope that you're thinking about the girls, too.
Yes, Mom, I am thinking about the well-being of my own daughters. Thank you for asking. Hey, Mom, are you there? I'm really, really sorry to ask for this so suddenly, but I need $500 right now.
Sorry, you want me to send you $500? Can I at least ask what this is for? Because I wasn't going to be sending you any more money until next month.
I know, but the girls have some field trips and club stuff coming up, and I just forgot to include that in my budget.
And you don't have any money that you can move around to pay for that.
Yeah, it's already all going to other stuff, so...
I see. Well, that is unfortunate, isn't it?
I'm not happy about this either, Mom. Trust me.
Well, okay. I guess I've given you this much money that $500 really isn't so bad. I can send it tomorrow. Will that be okay?
That'll be fine. Thank you so much. I still haven't gotten paid yet, or else I wouldn't be asking.
But do you really need $500 for some school activities?
Well, these are the club fees, the field trips, and I wanted to buy the girls some camp stuff too, since that's happening at the end of the year. All the other kids always make fun of the girls because they think we're poor, so I just wanted them to have some new clothes to show off in.
Lucy, I think it's amazing that you care so much for your girls and want to get them new clothes. But the fact that you just told me that you didn't have any spare money or room in your budget to move things around is very worrying to me. Do you mind if I ask you what you spent the money I sent you last week on? Did you make a budget?
Well, I was making a budget, but then things got so busy that I really only got about halfway through it.
Well, I told you that I would be happy to work with you in making one, didn't I? Have you kept any receipts from this month at all?
No, I haven't.
Lucy, what am I going to do with you? If you're having trouble with your money, then that means you need a budget. You do know that your dad and I aren't going to be able to be there for you forever, right?
I know that, Mom. Of course I'm not planning everything on just you and Dad.
You say that, but I'm not seeing any changes in your behavior about this at all. And if you aren't going to take more responsibility, then I may have to rethink sending you money at all.
But wait, if you do that, then what do you think is going to happen to the girls, huh? You can't just cut me off like that. Besides, this isn't even my fault. Eric was the one who left me. It's all his fault that my life has gotten so hard. I never wanted any of this.
Well, if things are hard and if you do want our support, then I think you know what you need to do. I am not going to pretend like you have it easy taking care of those girls on your own. But I know that you know there are people around you who want to help. But you can't just expect that help to only come in the form of money. There are other ways for you to get the help you need. We've already talked about how it would be cheaper for all of us if you just moved in and I stopped sending you the money every month.
But I am trying so hard. I don't want to have to say that I gave up.
I understand that feeling very well. But you have kids that you need to think about. I mean, your girls are only in elementary school. If you think they're expensive to take care of now, just wait. Besides, this isn't giving up. It's just a change of plans.
Well, that's easy for you to say when you've never had to work a day in your life. You've always been a housewife who has only ever relied on someone else for money. I don't think you've ever had a rough day in your life, and you certainly have some nerve talking to a hard worker like me about how I should be fixing my life.
Lucy, I think you know how ridiculous you're starting to sound now. Everyone faces adversity in their lives. I have had plenty of challenges and struggles that I have had to overcome in my life, too.
Even if that is true, you've still never had to be a single mother. And yes, you still think that you're in a position to be able to tell me what's best for my kids? Have you even ever had to work an hour of overtime in your life? So I am really sorry that I have to keep coming to you for help with money and stuff, but you don't know my life, so please keep your opinions of what I should be doing with it to yourself. Grandma, are you awake right now? Please, if you're awake, can you message me?
Wait, is this Kaylee?
I'm sorry, Grandma. Did I wake you up now?
No, of course you didn't wake me up, dear. I was actually already awake and getting myself some water. So don't worry, you can talk to me. What are you doing up so early, sweetheart?
I was just wondering, can we go to your house right now?
Wait, you want to come to Grandma's house right now? But it's barely even morning. I mean, just why are you awake at 4 a.m. anyway?
Well, I was really hungry. I haven't had any food in 3 days. My tummy hurts so bad. Everything hurts.
You haven't had anything to eat in 3 days? But your mom is there at home with you and your sister, right?
No, Mommy isn't here. She still hasn't come back home. I think she ran away. I think she doesn't want Emily or me anymore.
You're telling me that your mom isn't there at home with you right now?
Yeah, I don't know where she went, but she's not at home.
And she hasn't been home at all for the past 3 days?
That's right. She left 3 days ago, and that was the last time that Emily and I had anything to eat.
Sweetie, you stay right there and Grandma is going to come and pick you both up, okay?
But we're not at our house right now, Grandma.
Kaylee, what do you mean by that? Where are you right now if you're not at home?
We're outside. I told Emily last night that we were going to walk all the way to your house.
So you and Emily are outside right now by yourselves? You should have called me right away.
I really wanted to ask you for help, Grandma, but Mom told me never to do that.
I can't believe that she's done this. What in the world is going on over there?
I thought that there might have been some stores on the way to your house that maybe Emily and I could buy something with the money we scraped together.
That was a very good idea, Kaylee.
I know, but there haven't been any stores at all. And I don't even have very many coins anyways. And now Emily and I are both really hungry, and Emily keeps crying, and I just want to be at your house, Grandma.
Oh, don't tell me that you waited this long to call me because you thought I would be sleeping.
Of course. I didn't want to make the phone ring while it was still so dark outside. That's why I waited till now that the sun has started to come up to try and talk to you.
Well, do you have any idea where you are right now?
I think there are some train tracks kind of close. Actually, I think I see the stop that we get off at sometimes just up ahead. That must mean that we're really close to your house after all.
Okay, well, if you can go and wait at Grandma's stop, I'll be right there, okay? Just please try not to talk to any strangers and just wait for me right there.
Hey, Mom, are you there? I'm just reaching out because today is usually the day you send money and I'm not seeing anything. So I just wanted to message you to remind you to send that.
I am never going to give you another cent, Lucy.
Wait, what? Oh, come on. Don't tell me that you're still upset about our last conversation. I already said I'm sorry and that I would try and make a budget when I had more time to.
Oh, please. You think I'm going to believe that now? You were never going to do that.
Where is this coming from all of a sudden? You know how hard things are going to get for me and your grandchildren if I don't get that money, right? Even Eric is late on his child support and he's not answering the phone. So can you please just send me the money now?
Well, he hasn't sent you any money because Eric also won't be ever giving you another cent.
What are you talking about? Why are you talking as if you know what he's thinking?
Well, that would be because I'm sitting right here with him now.
What are you talking about? What the heck is going on right now, Mom?
What is going on is that we are trying to clean up the horrible mess that you left. I mean, you left home 4 days ago and abandoned your daughters to take care of themselves? Did you know that I found them hungry, shivering, and covered in grime? Do you have any idea just how many hours they were out walking? Those children could have been really hurt. Or worse.
Wait, what the heck is going on here?
Oh, please. I already know what's been going on. You've been leaving your children all alone so that you can go out on dates, haven't you? And that's what you've been spending all my money and all of Eric's money on. And not only that, but now you're away on some trip with this new man of yours? I really just can't believe you, Lucy. I never, ever want to hear from you again.
Wait, no, Mom, you've got this all wrong. I swear, I'm not away on some vacation or something. This is just a work trip, that's all.
You know, even though Kaylee is only 10 years old, she can see right through you. She knows when you're actually working and when you're not.
Well, I left them some money for them to buy some food for themselves. It's not like I was trying to make them go hungry.
Oh, I saw the money you left with them. All $20 of it. But it's already been a whole week since you've left. How are they supposed to have survived on just that for that amount of time, huh? And just what are you thinking leaving the house for a week while your children are here all alone anyways, huh?
But it really was work, I swear.
I don't care if it really was work. That still isn't something that you do. But I already called your office and they told me that you started working part-time there and that you're always asking for time off. You probably still aren't even home to notice that neither of your daughters are even there. Not only that, but I asked Kaylee about the camp and the new clothes and all the things that you said you wanted the money to do for them. And she had no idea what I was talking about. You lied to me, your own mother, just for money.
Please, I just needed a break from taking care of them. You don't know what it's like to be a single mother.
There you go again, playing that card. Well, I talked to Eric and he told me about how you two actually divorced because you were having an affair.
Mom, please, it wasn't like that at all. You've got this all wrong. I mean, these are my daughters. Do you really think that I would ever do anything to hurt them?
I don't care what excuses you have to try and excuse what you've done. You have treated your children and your family terribly, and you are going to pay for this. Mark my words. After that, I talked to Eric about hiring a lawyer to fight for his right to custody. He agreed, and after explaining to the judge what Lucy had put her daughters through, the trail didn't last long. Now they live with their father and seem much, much happier. As for Lucy, after losing the children and the money being sent from Eric and I, she was truly on all her own for the first time in years. She tried to beg me to let her come and live at my house. But when she wouldn't give it up, I told her that I was going to be cutting her out of my life forever. Now I don't tell anyone that I have a daughter, which of course makes it confusing when I mention my grandchildren. Lately, I've just started telling them that she lives in another state and that's why nobody ever sees her. But honestly, what matters most to me is making sure that my family is never put into a position like that again. And as long as Kaylee and her sister are happy and healthy, that's all that's really important to me. After getting to know Eric a bit better, I realized that he and the girls were going to have a much better life with him than with their mother. In fact, the court actually ordered that she keep her distance from all three of them when he gave Eric custody. I supported Lucy for all that time because she was family, and I trusted her to know what was best for her own daughter. If it wasn't for Kaylee thinking to call me, I'm not sure what would have happened. I still shudder just thinking of how long those two girls were outside on their own. And while I clearly didn't want things to go the way they did with Lucy, it's always important to put the children first. After all, that's the only way they'll learn to take care of the generations that come after them. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Sherry, this is your grandma. I wonder if you're getting this message from me.
Huh? Grandma? You have a phone number too?
Yes, that's right. Your dad was able to get me a new phone and gave me your number for me. All the other people my age in the neighborhood said they've started texting their grandkids, and I wanted to do the same.
That's amazing, Grandma!
This way I'll be able to talk with you a lot more. But this smartphone is really amazing, and more people my age are starting to use them finally. I've started to even talk more with some of my other friends now too. I was really late to this party, wasn't I?
Everyone in my school all have smartphones and are texting each other all the time. But recently we've all started to use other apps to message as well.
Oh, is that so? I've heard of something called Instagram.
What? You know about Instagram now too?
I've started to use it on my computer, but I hear you can go on there now on your smartphone too. I think this gadget is just wonderful for people like me that love to stay updated all day.
I wish you would have gotten your phone a lot sooner.
I do too. Before I thought about getting one would be too much of a hassle for me, but now that I'm into it, I'm really loving my new phone. All of these little stickers are really cute as well.
You're talking about emojis? They're all really cool and funny.
Well, I'll start using them more from now on, once I've gotten used to the phone itself.
I can't wait.
Well, you can teach me sometime how to use them correctly. That's right. I've already heard this from your dad, but is he out of the house on a business trip?
Yes, he is. It's been quiet here now. He told me that he'll be away until the end of the month for work.
That's what it looks like to me. Well, your dad says that he's lonely without you around too.
Well, then he should hurry up and come back home.
That's right.
Can you wait 1 minute, Grandma? Ive!
Huh? What was that?
I'm sorry. Avery took my phone from me for a second there and started to type on it without knowing what to say.
I see. Well, Avery is still not carrying a phone herself, right?
She has a toy one, I guess, but she can only use it for emergencies to call Mom or Dad. It's not a smartphone like ours are.
I'm sure she really wants to use her older sister phone a lot now, right?
Well, I only just got my phone last year after I finished 5th grade in elementary school. Avery still has to wait another 4 years before she can get her phone.
Well, to her, 4 years is a very long time, I think. By the time she gets into her 5th year at school, you'll be in high school, right?
What? In high school? That's right. I only have to be in middle school for 3 years, so I will be in high school by then.
I wonder what you'll be like when you get to high school, Cherry. I can't wait for that time.
I want to become even more cute than I already am. I want to become a singer in the future, so I have to be cute all the time.
Wow. That's a really good dream to have, Sherry. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sorry, Sherry. I've been talking a long time with you this time.
It's okay, Grandma. It's Saturday now, and all I'm doing is babysitting Avery at the house.
That's so mature of you.
Also, during my birthday this year, Dad will be on a business trip again and won't be home to see me.
Next week is going to be your birthday, right? That's too bad.
It really is.
Well, is your mom home right now?
Mom is... She went out shopping?
Is that so? All right then. Well, good luck babysitting Avery for the day while your mom is out of the house.
Thank you.
The next time I talk with you, I want to try video calling one another, okay? Then I can talk with Avery as well on the phone and see the both of you together. See you again, Sherry. Hello, Tia. This is Clayton's mother, Greta. I hope these texts are getting to you.
Huh? Is this you, Greta? Did you end up finally getting yourself a smartphone?
Yes, that's right. I only just got it yesterday, though. Do you have a little time to talk with me right now?
Sure. Is there something that happened with you?
Well, this is about Sherry and Avery, actually. Right now, my son is on a business trip, correct? Well, since he's gone for a little while, I was wondering if I'd be able to take the both of them on a small trip with me somewhere.
What? Does my husband being out of the house for business have anything to do with that?
Well, yesterday when talking with Sherry, she said she has a lot of free time on her days off from school. And you know that next week there is that holiday coming up, right? Also, there is Sherry's birthday coming up as well. So myself and my husband would really like to take the two of them with us to someplace fun, where they can take a break and play around.
Ah, is that what you're talking about? Because I'm going to have to say no thank you. There are plans for us to go out of the house for a bit on that holiday.
Oh, is that so? Well, if you're all going out, I'm sure Sherry will be happy.
I'm sorry that her and her free time made you want to try and use your time to entertain her.
But you really do not have to worry about those two, since I'm always around to look after them and entertain.
That's not what I meant by that. What I said had nothing to do with me questioning whether you're looking after them or not. I just thought that since they'll have some time off coming up, my husband and I would really like to see them then.
I can see that.
Well, at the very least, if around Sherry's birthday, my husband and I could come over for a chance to see her. We can even wait for a time when my son is back in town, all right? I'd be really happy to see everyone's faces again.
Understood. Let me talk with Clayton about that then. Greta, can I mention one thing to you?
Sure, go right ahead.
I had a look at the messages you were sending to Sherry yesterday. Can you please stop talking to her for such a long period of time like that? That girl has been on her phone a whole lot recently, and I've warned her so many times now to stop looking at it all the time.
I'm so sorry about that, Tia. I only just got my smartphone, and I was really looking forward to texting my granddaughter. Next time I'll make sure to only spend a couple of minutes texting her.
That would be great, thank you. There are a lot of kids her age these days that are totally addicted to their phones. I want to make sure she's not getting herself into any trouble.
Yes, I'm aware of that. Well then, I look forward to hearing from you about plans for Cherry's birthday. And of course, if we'll be taking her out somewhere for her birthday, we'd love to take Avery as well.
All right, sounds great. I'll get in touch with my husband about it then. And then I'll have him tell you what's going on then. Grandma, are you awake right now?
What? Cherry? What are you doing awake so late in the night?
Yay! You are awake after all! I really want you to come and help me. Actually, I'm already on the way to your house.
What? You're coming to my house? Why are you coming to my house this late in the night?
Avery has a really bad fever right now and her head is burning hot. I don't know what to do to make her feel better, and she can't even walk on her own anymore. I have to carry her right now, and I'm trying to find your house, but it's too dark out and I'm lost. We're at the park right now taking a break.
The park? What park are you at, though? Is there a sign somewhere with the name of the park on it?
I can't find any sign.
How many minutes has it been since you left your house?
It's been an hour now.
Oh my goodness. Well, it takes about an hour to walk all the way to my house, so you might be close to me. All right, I'm going to call the police right now.
Wait, you can't. Do not call the police.
Why not?
If Mom finds out about this, we'll be grounded forever.
You'll be grounded forever.
Please don't tell Mom about any of this, please.
Are you sure? Where is your mom? Was she not at home with you guys?
I can't tell you.
Sherry, we can talk about your mom later on. For right now, I need to find out where you and your sister are at, okay? That's why I want to call the police and have them help me search for the two of you. That will be the most quickest way for me to find you two.
But, wait. I think I know what street your house is on.
Are you sure?
I think I know. I'm going to start carrying Avery again. We'll be at your house very soon.
Sherry, please slow down for a second. If you are lost and don't know where to go for certain, you should stay put. Are you seeing my text? Sherry? Your grandma's coming for you right now, so please do not move.
What? Greta? Why are you trying to get a hold of me at this time? Are you sleepwalking or something and that's why you called so many times?
I'm wide awake right now, actually.
Then are you just doing this to me to try and pick a fight? Greta, it's way too early in the morning for crap like this from you, all right? Everyone is asleep in my house, so we can save all this until tomorrow morning. I'm still half asleep right now and can barely even text you.
Well, I want you to become fully awake right now, because there is going to be a lot of texting going on.
Huh?
Both of your kids and I are at the hospital right now. So what did you mean when you said everyone in your house was asleep right now?
My kids are in the hospital? What are you even talking about?
I'm telling you that both Sherry and Avery are in the hospital with me right now. It seems as though you're not at your own home right now.
No, I sure am, Greta.
No, you're not. My husband went over to your house to go and see for me. He pushed the doorbell over and over again, and nobody ever came to the door. There wasn't even any movement within the house from any kids. Also, he told me that there were no cars in the driveway.
I have my car in the shop right now, so there wouldn't be any at the house. And I never heard the doorbell ringing at any point. I'm a heavy sleeper after all. Now tell me why you think my daughters would be at the hospital with you right now.
Avery had a very bad fever running, and Sherry had to carry Avery for over an hour, all the way to my house in the middle of the night. They both had to come over an hour to my house in the pitch black with nothing more than their pajamas on.
Why? Why didn't those two wake me up then if they wanted to go to your house?
Tia, you do not have to lie to me about being at your house anymore.
I'm not lying to you right now. I'm on my way to the hospital right now. Which one are they staying at?
Stop that. I don't want you anywhere near either of your daughters anymore. Sherry was very kind and told me about everything. She told me that normally, when my son is out of the house for business, you'll leave the place as well to go out. You'll leave your 6th grader in the house to babysit your 1st grader, and then sometimes not even come home until the following day.
I'm not doing anything like that. I told you that I've warned that girl many times not to go on her phone all the time. I think she's just lying to you about me now to make me seem like I'm evil or something.
Whether it's all the time or not very often, it is a fact that during all this, you were not at the house watching over them, right? We've already been to your house to check on things, so we no longer want any more of your lives.
Well, what's happened is I had an old friend of mine come into town after who knows how many years, and so I went out with them.
And is it normal for you to still be out of the house at this time of night when you have your 2 kids you need to watch? You have responsibilities.
Sherry is a 6th grader now, and she can handle herself. I trust her a lot, so I thought she could handle everything on her own.
This has nothing to do with you trusting her to care for things herself or not. I get that a 6th grader can stay home for a little bit by themselves and handle things. But you also have a 1st grader in your house as well, right? Also, I feel that you can only leave Sherry home for a couple of hours, especially when she has to watch another child. But leaving the 2 of them for the whole night to fend for themselves?
When I left the house earlier, Avery was doing just fine and didn't have a fever.
Then what happened that time Sherry tried calling you before she had to try coming to my house? Going into the night, Avery's condition seemed to worsen, and Sherry didn't know what to do. Sherry showed me that she both sent you some text and called you, but you never got back to her. That's why Sherry had to end up texting me for help, as she was on her way over with Avery. My son's not even in town right now, so there was no way to ask him for help. Did you tell Sherry to never tell her father about how you've been leaving the house all the time when he's gone?
I had no choice this time. I was a little stuck on what to do myself, but I haven't seen this friend of mine in so many years, and I really wanted to see them.
But you knew that by leaving the house for the night, you'd be doing something horrible to your kids, right? That's why you told Sherry to not tell him anything, right?
Clayton happens to really want to make sure both the kids are looked over at all times. That's why I didn't want him knowing anything.
Well then, if you didn't want to cause any trouble, why did you not come home earlier in the night after seeing your friend for a few hours? Also, you could have easily asked myself or my husband to watch after Sherry and Avery while you're gone.
It all came up so fast, so I didn't think it'd be okay to ask you guys last minute.
It came up so fast, and that's why you should have been able to ask us for help. Also, that person you're with right now isn't some longtime friend of yours anyway, are they?
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm asking you whether or not that person is someone you're having an affair with right now or not. You were up to something that's really no good, and that's why you didn't want to ask my husband and I to look after the kids.
What the heck are you talking about right now? There is no way in hell I'd do that to Clayton. I love my husband a lot and would never.
Sherry seems to think otherwise. She knows about you being with another man. You often get picked up by him when he comes over to get you at your house, right? Well, Sherry has seen that happen quite often now. Also, she's been able to see you talking to another man on your phone. Sherry has known about this happening for a long time now, but has said nothing to Clayton because she doesn't want to hurt the family. She doesn't want to ruin the happiness that her dad and little sister still have. She knows exactly what you've been up to and what that'll mean for the family. You have been destroying the feelings of a 6th grader for the longest time now. Did you know that? Did you know that she has felt so much pain watching her own mother love another man?
You have it all wrong. I've just been picked up and dropped off by my friends. I am really not doing anything sexual with any of them.
Tia, I've had enough of this crap from you. Sherry has seen and read some of the messages you and your man send back and forth.
And I'm saying that those are all lies coming from her.
Don't you dare start calling her a liar because she knows about you cheating on Clayton. Sherry is a very smart little girl and knows what she's seen. There were even pictures at times on your phone. Pictures of a man's private parts. Anyway, to be sure that at some point in the future, if she ever needed them, she took some pictures of the messages you guys would send to one another. So there is evidence of all this.
Is that right?
Yes. So there is no use in trying to lie your way out of this, Tia.
I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, so you're finally going to confess to it all?
Greta, I'm so sorry. I just had a small urge that led me to doing something like that. So can you please refrain from telling Clayton anything about this? Please, please, please.
You're asking me to keep all this a secret from my son now as well?
Sherry has done a very good job not telling anyone so far. I don't want you wasting all the energy she's put into keeping this a secret for the sake of the family.
The only reason she kept all of this a secret was because you told her not to say anything to your husband about it. Stop trying to make this all seem like something she's okay with letting go unseen.
I promise, I really promise that I'll never do anything like this again, okay? I'm really sorry for everything. My husband is on business trips a lot of the time, and so I've been very lonely. I've made sure that this other man doesn't develop any feelings for me, so you don't have to worry about a situation like that.
You are right saying that my son is gone a lot from work, and that it is hard on you. But you're not the only one that becomes lonely during those times. My son is also lonely, and so is Sherry and Avery. You cannot start blaming something like this on one person or the other, because what Clayton is doing is bringing in money for the sake of the family by being away all the time. I'm sure my son doesn't want to be gone all the time either. You and him can find some way to fix this issue between you two, but please do not get my granddaughters wrapped up in it.
I'm sorry. I promise to never do anything like what I've done again. Can you please just forgive me for this in some way? I will never leave my daughters at home anymore while I go out.
It's too late for that now, Tia. The reason I've had to reach out to you in the middle of the night like this is because you left your kids to fend for themselves while one of them has been sick. Sherry has told me she doesn't like you anymore and wants to tell her dad that you are a bad person and are not to be trusted.
What? Then what the heck is going to happen to me? Has my husband said anything about this? I do not want for us to get a divorce now.
Sherry was right to come to me about this. It's crazy that while your kids are in the hospital right now being treated, you still have not once asked anything about them or showed any worries. Even now, you're only caring about what'll happen to you, and only you. Well, he has every right to do what he's doing, and that's thinking about divorcing you. I want you to start getting prepared for that, please.
I don't want to, Greta, please! Can you find some way to help me get out of this? I'll do anything you ask me to, so find a way to tell my husband that this was all just a lie and that Sherry and I have been in a fight. Please, I'm asking you to please help me.
I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do for you. Also, you hurt your daughter's feelings by having that affair. To be honest, I don't want you taking care of my grandkids any longer. Not only did you cheat on my son, but you also wanted his daughters to lie to him about it. I will not allow you to watch over Sherry and Avery any longer. If I had to leave my grandkids in the hands of someone that thinks she can use them to run away from her affair, then I'd never be able to forgive myself. After that, my son was able to get a divorce from Tia, and in that divorce, he was given full custody of the kids. And after a lot of paperwork and such, he was able to get a settlement from both Tia and the man she had been sleeping with behind his back. Tia tried to go back to her parents' house after the divorce, but when they both heard about what had happened, they chose not to forgive her. She was immediately told to leave their house upon arrival, and so she was no longer allowed to be around them anymore. She then tried to go back to her secret man who she had been sleeping with for some time now, but even he would not let her come to his house anymore. And I can totally understand why, because from what I've learned, she lied to him about ever having a husband at that moment, and told him she had a babysitter at her house at all times to watch her kids so that she could leave the house. He has to pay for having an affair with Tia like he'd been doing, but at least I know that he's nothing like Tia, thinking it was okay to lie about things as she had and leave 2 young kids home all alone. As of right now, Tia is working a low-level job full-time and is paying child support to Clayton for both the girls. She is doing so from a small apartment outside of town and is sharing it with some other people to try and save on rent. And Tia had made some plans to go out and see her younger daughter Avery for a little bit, but Avery's older sister was not willing to see Tia. Sherry told us that she no longer wanted to be around Tia anymore, and so we all had to respect her wants. Tia finally seemed to learn just how horrible of a thing she'd been doing to her husband and kids, and has been regretting it all a whole bunch. But when it comes to Sherry, I think it will take her a bit longer to process all that's happened between her parents. And as for Avery, I'm sure she'll begin to wonder why she's no longer living with her mother anymore. After some time has passed, I'm not sure how things will go for both my granddaughters, but the sins that Tia committed that left her family in ruins will not be forgotten by anyone. If she really wants to be like their mother again, then she needs to learn that she can never do anything like that again to them, and then maybe she'll be able to call them hers again someday. As for my son and his girls, they all have to come to live inside my house with my husband and I. Normally, when my son would have to go away for business, he'd leave the kids with Tia, who would then leave them at home alone. But now, my husband and I will be home to take care of them while he's gone, and we'll both make sure to spoil the heck out of them. Sherry is happy to finally not have to take care of both her sister and herself anymore with no adults at home. And Avery is happy to finally have some new faces in her house that she can play with at any time. Although everyone seems to be really happy with the way things have turned out, Sherry is still not ready to forgive Tia for what she's done. I really do think it'll be a very long time before she is able to process what Tia had done to her and all the trauma that has caused. I'm aware that the rest of the family really cannot do anything to help her get through all this internal struggle she's having. But in order to make the process easier for her, we'll do everything in our power to let her relax and have fun here. I'll work my hardest to ensure that both my granddaughters live in an environment where they can learn things properly without having to experience any more horrors like before. And with the help of my husband and son, we are going to make both their lives here the best any child could ever hope for. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. Hey Dan, are you there? I'm really sorry, but I completely forgot that we were having a retirement party for someone in my office. So, I just don't think that I'm going to be able to go over to your place today. Again, so sorry about this.
It's okay, I understand. This is kind of a work thing, and we agreed to put work first until we got married.
I know, but I really did want to try and be home just a bit earlier today. Would you mind making dinner, though? You remember me telling you about how I was really craving salmon, right?
Right. Yeah, I remember you saying that. You're not exactly the most subtle person when it comes to hinting at me what you want to eat.
Well, maybe not. But you're just such a good chef, and I really do enjoy your cooking. You're never ever allowed to tell her this, but I think that you might even cook better than my mom.
Well, I don't know about that. I think that your mom is a pretty good chef, if I do say so myself.
I'm not trying to say that she's a bad chef or anything like that at all. I'm just saying that I think you are a cut above so many other people when it comes to what you make in the kitchen. At this point, I don't think I'll ever be able to enjoy anyone else's cooking again.
I see. So basically you're telling me you're only marrying me for my cooking skills then?
Well, you might be closer to the truth than you realize. But anyways, I can't believe that we're really going to get married in a week. It's just incredible. It feels like the date has just snuck up on us so quickly.
I know what you mean, but when you think about it, the timeline has been pretty quick. I mean, I only proposed to you about 3 months ago, but still, it does feel like so much has happened in that time.
I know exactly what you mean. But now that we're only a week away, I guess it's just starting to feel really real to me.
And to think that you and I are going to the courthouse tomorrow to have our civil service done. And then we can actually officially move in together. This really is starting to feel real. You're right.
And that's what I'm saying, right? I'll finally be able to move out of my parents' house and live with you. And that means that I finally won't have to listen to my parents telling me what to do all the time. Did you know that my mom still tells me to clean my room? But you're always just so kind and sweet, and you don't mind cleaning up for me when I visit your place.
So basically you're now saying that you're marrying me because I cook and clean. I guess I'm more of a catch than I realized.
And I guess it's my job to just stand there and look pretty, right?
I think you do much more than that, Casey. Although, since we're talking about this, I did see an article the other day talking about how so many divorces come from one partner putting all the work on the other.
Dan, stop it right there. We cannot be talking about divorce when we are a week away from getting married. But I guess maybe you're not so good at hunting things yourself. If you want me to do more around the house when I move in, I will.
Thank you. I do appreciate you saying that. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page before we live together.
I know, and I promise that I will try my best. But I think it might also take some time for me to adjust, you know?
That's okay. You know I'm a patient guy. And if there's anything you need me to show you how to do, I'm more than happy to.
Aw, Thank you so much for that, Dan. I really do appreciate it. Anyways, we're having this retirement party at some restaurant, so I gotta go right now. I'll talk to you later, though.
Sounds good to me. Try not to drink too much. You get home safe, okay?
No problem. If I'm out too late, I'll just go to my parents' house, though. So maybe save the salmon for another night. But I think I'll be okay since I'm really trying to watch my figure before we get married.
Well, you just take care of yourself, okay? And please text me when you get back home, even if it's really late, okay? I've just been hearing a lot of scary things on the news lately.
Well, I don't think I'm going to do any after party as there is one. I should probably be back to my parents' house by midnight or something.
I know, but I'm still going to worry about you, you know. Would you want me to meet you at the restaurant and drive you home when you're done?
No. I could never ask you to do something like that for me. Besides, I'm sure that you're already tired from being at work all day, and my parents' house is the opposite direction from yours. I'll just get an Uber or something like that, and I'll be fine, I promise.
Well, okay then, if that's the way you want to do things. Just please do send me a message when you get back home.
I'll make sure and do that. And you try not to worry about so many things all the time. Because if I come home late, I am already going to be hearing it from my mom, so you don't have to scold me. Anyways, I'm going to get going now. Bye. Hey, Dan, are you there? I am so sorry for not getting back to you last night after I got home.
Do you have any idea how worried I was? What happened? Why didn't you message me? I thought you said you weren't going to be out that late. I stayed up half the night waiting for your message, Casey.
I know, and I really am sorry. I guess it has just been a while since I had that much to drink is all. Once I got home, I just got ready for bed and passed out right away.
Did you really have that much to drink at the party?
I mean, I had like 3 drinks or something like that. But I haven't been drinking at all in this diet that I'm on to fit into my wedding dress. So, I guess they all just hit me way more strongly than I thought they would have.
Well, geez. I mean, I know how much you like to drink and how hard you've been working on cutting back, but you really should have been more careful, don't you think?
Dan, I only had 3 drinks. I just didn't think that the little would get me so drunk. But I promise that I'll take more care from here on out.
Great. Well, we just have one more week until we're married, so please be careful, okay? Do you want me to come over and visit you?
No worry about doing that. I'll still make it over to your house today. But I think from tomorrow, I'm going to stop coming over to our house until we're married.
Oh, really? Why is that? Did something happen?
Well, after we're married, the 2 of us are going to move in together and be living with each other, right? I was just thinking this morning while my mom was making me breakfast that maybe things aren't so bad at home and that I want to enjoy this while I can.
Hey, I understand. It can't be easy getting this close to having to move out of your parents' house.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of big changes for me, I think. So, I just want to enjoy the time I have at home with my parents while I can.
I understand. After all, it's just like you said. Once we're married, we really are going to be living together. So, you enjoy the time you have living with your parents, okay?
Great. Thank you so much for understanding, Dan. Besides, it's not like they even live that far away from us, right?
Yeah, of course. It's not like you're never going to see them again or anything like that. But it's true that there are going to be some changes while you get used to living with me and not with them.
Yeah, you're right about that. I just hope that everything goes well for the 2 of us.
I'm sure it will. But it's understandable to be getting so emotional when we're close to getting married now.
I know. I feel like every little thing has been getting me so emotional lately, and I just don't even know what to do with myself.
I'm sorry. I know it's a really emotional time, and I didn't mean to upset you. It's just that, well, I thought I was going to get to see you a bit more before the wedding is all. Although I did go out and buy some salmon to cook for you for dinner tonight.
You did? You mean it? Oh, that's just perfect. Thank you so much. Well, don't worry. Now I'm definitely coming over tonight.
Hey, Casey, have you still not made it to the wedding yet? But your parents are here and we're all waiting for you. Where are you? Please get back to me when you see these messages. We're really worried about you.
Dan, are you there? I'm really sorry. It's all my fault that the wedding fell apart and we didn't even get married. And I just couldn't even stand to face you in person.
Casey, you know that I'm not mad at you. You were in an accident. I mean, you could have been killed. I'm just happy that you're still alive.
But I can't walk anymore. I'm going to have to live in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And my friend who was driving me around still hasn't even woken up. She was driving us to the wedding, and that's when the accident happened. This is all my fault.
But your leg's okay?
Yeah, everything else is just fine. I don't have any other injuries or anything like that. The doctors say that I'm stable, and there's no risk to my health or anything like that.
I see. Well, I guess that's good at least.
But do you think you'll be able to come and visit me at the hospital? Visiting hours are going to be until 8 tonight.
Casey, I'm really sorry, but I'm just too busy. Now that the wedding is canceled, I just have a lot of phone calls to make and people that I need to talk to. I mean, there were a lot of people who came all the way here just to see us get married, you know? So I just have to talk to them, thank them for coming, and explain what happened and all of that. Not to mention that I guess I should cancel the movers that we ordered as well.
This really is all my fault. I knew it. I'm sorry, Dan. This isn't what I wanted to happen.
You really don't need to apologize for anything. I mean, if anything, you're the biggest victim of this whole thing.
I know, but I thought that we were going to be married by now. The accident was on the day we were supposed to have our civil ceremony, and now we're not going to have our real ceremony.
I know, but there's just really nothing to do about it now.
I'm so sorry that you have to do all this by yourself. I wish there was some way that I could help you in this state, but right now the only thing I want is to see you.
It's okay, I understand. And I really want to see you too.
Do you think you'll be able to come and see me tomorrow?
Yeah, that should be fine, Casey.
Thank you so much, Dan. I was really worried that you were going to leave me over this.
You mean because you weren't able to have our wedding how we planned it?
Yeah, and because I'm going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life.
Well, I guess that just goes to show that you never really know what can happen. One day you're healthy and fine, and then an accident like this happens and takes it all away. But I would never leave you just because you're going to be in a wheelchair. I hope you know that I'm not that kind of person.
Thank you so much, Dan. Just reading that message makes me feel better. Anyways, I'm sorry for reaching out to you while you're so busy. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, Casey, are you there? I have to talk to you.
Dan, why have you been ignoring all my messages I've been sending you? You're making me really nervous. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know that I haven't been able to make it over there to see you.
But why not? What's going on, Dan?
Well, the thing is that when you woke up from the accident, you said that you didn't want any visitors, right?
I know, but that was because I woke up in the hospital and I was just trying to piece together what happened. I guess I didn't want to feel like I was letting people down, so I didn't want to see them.
I know what you mean. I was really nervous and needed some time too, but I've come to a decision.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I don't think that we should get married. I just don't think I'm going to be able to live with you, and so I don't think that you and I should be getting married.
But why? I don't understand what happened. What made you change your mind?
Because I just know now that I'm never ever going to be able to be happy living with you, Casey.
But is this because I'm never going to be able to walk again?
No, it isn't because of that.
You're lying to me. I know that it's because of that. You think that I'm just going to be dead weight hanging around your neck for the rest of your life, don't you? All I asked was that you come and visit me in the hospital, and you just leave me like this? How could you do this to me? I thought that you were different. Dan, I thought I could trust you.
Well, I feel the exact same way. In fact, I'm glad this accident happened so that I found out the truth before our wedding.
Truth? What on earth are you talking about? Why would you even say something like that to me? Don't you realize that I'm going to be paralyzed from the waist down for the rest of my life? How could you say that to me after all I've been through? Don't you think that I've suffered enough already?
I think that you brought all of this suffering on yourself.
So you're really going to try and tell me that this is all my fault then?
Well, you've been telling everyone that you were just on your way over to the wedding when you got into the accident, and that's all that happened, right? But the truth is just a little different, isn't it? You weren't on your way to the wedding. You were trying to run away with your secret lover. You were trying to drive as far away from our wedding as you could before you got hit by the car.
Dan, what are you talking about? You can't actually be serious about this, right?
But I suppose the man you're with still hasn't woken up yet, has he? Maybe you were hoping that he never would and that no one would figure this out.
Of course not. He's just an old coworker of mine, but of course I hope that he gets up. I mean, it was actually his retirement party that I was going to. It isn't like he's old or anything. He just did a lot for the company in the short time that he was here. But you don't actually think I'd cheat on you with him, do you? Or that I would try to run away from our own marriage just to be with him, right?
You told me that you were having a really special friend drive you over to the wedding, remember?
Of course I remember telling you that. And I wasn't lying to you about it either, I swear.
So, was this guy your special friend? The one that you were going to run away with? Is this what you meant by this?
I finally get it. I see what's going on here. You found out that I have a close male friend, and now you're trying to make me feel like I'm the bad guy here because you're jealous. You're just so horrible. I didn't think you were capable of being so cruel. I mean, what kind of way is this to treat someone who just found out they'll never be able to walk again?
And you really think that just because something happened to your legs that it excuses every other horrible thing you've done? Do you think that this makes you some kind of hero now that you're in a wheelchair for trying to run away with some other guy?
I can't believe this. I can't believe that you actually said that to me just now. Why are you attacking me when I'm the victim?
Why are you trying to make yourself out to be the victim here when you're not? If you're a victim of anything, you're a victim of your own horrible decisions. When I heard that you were in an accident, I was just terrified. I didn't care at all about the wedding.
But then, why are you putting me through this?
Because then I had proof that you were cheating on me. It was his coworker's parents, the one that you were cheating on me with. They came to me and gave me his journal.
His journal? But why would they give you something like that of his?
Because in it was written all the little details about your affair. The time that you had met up and where. Not to mention your name written with a big heart around it.
Well, I mean, that's not my fault if this guy was secretly obsessed with me and I had no idea.
Well, that's the other thing. I actually called your work the day after the goodbye party. I asked if they had heard from you after the party. Except your coworker told me that there was no retirement party at all. They had no idea what you were talking about.
So you even called my work just to see if I was okay?
That's right. I called and I was so worried about you. I was broken up with grief until I found out that you were never faithful to me to begin with. You know, his parents even showed me his phone. So if you still think you can try and trick me by saying that he's just obsessed with you, don't bother. There was so many texts between you and him. The plan to run away was spelled out so clearly that it didn't leave a doubt in my mind at all. Including the part where you told this guy that you didn't even want to marry me. You said that if you were going to get out of this, that you'd have no choice but to run away with him.
Please, you don't understand. It isn't what it looks like, I swear to you.
Yeah, I'm sure that nothing about you was quite what I thought it was actually. But at least you both got what was coming to you with this accident.
Please, Dan. You have to know that you've always been the only man for me. I'm so sorry about this. I promise to never stab you in the back again. Please, you have to know that you're the only person that I want to spend the rest of my life with, right?
And to think that we were almost married. Now I can call this off and never have to deal with you again. After that, Chris, the man that Casey was seeing behind my back, woke up. His parents told him about how disappointed they were in him, but since he was in the hospital, it was clear that neither of them was going to be able to run away from this. I also sued Casey for her affair and for ruining our engagement. Her and Chris. The payout was large, but it wasn't enough to cover the hurt and the pain that I had in my heart from such betrayal. In the end, news about what Casey and Chris did spread around their town and their work, and they both moved away as soon as they could to avoid embarrassment. I haven't heard from Casey since, but I wonder how she's getting used to her new life in a wheelchair. As for me, I took the money that I got from the lawsuit and decided to move away myself. I couldn't stand living in the same town where so much betrayal took place. I just felt like I needed a new start in life. I put in a transfer request at work, and when it came through, I packed up my things and set out to start my new life in a new place. I'm sure that I'll go through a lot of hardships there as well, but at least it will be on my own terms since I'll never let anyone lie to me like that again. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.